Even when I get taken a quam, I can we tell on a video couple the father national Nizuka Gizuka and Wibanya woman, but I made video internet national no jail, no car, special Catholic church. She said Catholic and they were born Catholics. So that she doesn't get fueled that her spirit and her ginger in her media. So man, when we preaching this our Bishop Onah Oname regarding Enugu State Archbishop on preaching on regarding similar issue related to it. That's why I can we tell you couldn't know a bishop regarding that thing, because now I like the fact people are beginning to wake up in such areas. We are not saying this in Kewe major Ndioka. Okay, major Catholics, but the priest and everybody need to step up. The more you open yourself to God, that is how far God can do business with you. Or high nature can dem madam maldia or Borona Kujo Catholics no. Catholic one of the founding religion Christianity anyway, because he truly say all the whole Pentecostal and the move of God, Pentecostal churches anywhere in Nigeria, Catholic Church pioneered all their movement. All of them were Catholic root. You are talking about your dealings with God will open you up to another dimension of God that you really need to know. And when you said you are called for a generation, you don't used to just, keep people in one place. Now go the same thing all the time. People will get tired and eventually they will walk away from you. This is what we are scared of now happening to Catholic Church. Not that Catholic Church will food, but instead of it na bata. No. Except now those that have a conviction. Holy Spirit's conviction is what will keep them. Manoboni that conviction and the visitation of the Holy Spirit in you, you will be tempted to go and seek for your answers somewhere else. So in the end of this video, call the one.
But Jesus zutere Mata sia onye nwanyị. Ọ bụrụ na ị nọ, nwanne m nwoke agaghị enwu. All of us ask such questions in the face of tragedy. Where was God? And some people, after tragedy upon tragedy, not finding a coherent relationship between their worship of God and good fortune, they move away completely from God. Lord, where were you? The portion we read from the gospel does not tell us that Jesus knew ahead of time that Lazarus was sick, but waited until he died. The reason is unknown to us. Of course, he came when Lazarus had spent about 4 days in the tomb. After he had spent 4 days in the tomb, in order to show that by calling him up from the dead, he had powers to raise the dead. But why didn't he prevent him from dying in the first place? And the Lazarus had them going to Neluwa. All those whom Jesus raised from life on earth are no longer alive on earth. But Jesus was pointing to something beyond the resurrection of a dead person now. He was pointing to something beyond the grave. Your brother will live again. And Martha, because she had been brought up in the tradition of those who believed in the resurrection, yes, said, I know he will live again, he will rise again at the resurrection. And Jesus made this affirmation, I am the resurrection and the life. For the Pharisees and for people like Martha, a promise. Fulfillment and reality. When we insert our life in the life of Christ, as he said in John chapter 15 and also in John chapter 6, we become one with him and his life becomes our life and his rising from the dead becomes reality for us, not just a promise. That is the great difference. Anyị na-ajụ kedu ebe Chukwu nọ mgbe eji ihe na-eme na ndụ anyị. We have to accept that some questions don't have clear answers. Just as there are so many questions around the death of Junior Pope. Too many questions, many of them without answers. But fundamentally, even if we found the answers to those questions, now John Paul, Junior Pope, will not come out of that coffin today. So where do we go from here? It is not about finding rational explanations concerning death, especially sudden death. It is about being able to live in such a way as to express what we believe. Matter. Do you believe that? What we believe shapes our life. Omume anyị bụ ihe anyị kwenyere na-egosi ụdọrọ ndụ anyị na-ebu. Ọtụtụ ndụ anyị na-ebizi na Nigeria, n'ala Igbo, n'Igbo Nsụka taata, tụmadụ ndị otu Kristi na-egosi na ọ bụghị ihe anyị kwuru na anyị kwenyere bụ anyị kwenyere. It is said, it was reported that while Junior Pope was going out for that venture, he was asked to pour libation. And he refused. No medidero way. Some will say, and as a result, he died. I don't know whether all those who died in that accident, if it is proven that it was an accident, I don't know whether all of them who died were those who did not pour libation. Whether or not, one thing is clear. Me pour libation, me pour libation. Me jereneha jegbeha, me jegeneha. Me jerenenke didia, me jegenenke didia. Me jerugwotogo, me nakacharo me jege. Me bo night, me na gwogo. Me bo nimroha, me na jagbeha. The end is the same. The end is the same. I don't know if you conduct a census of Igbo Christians today who firmly believe in the teachings of Christ and the church and don't go back to Igbo, if you conduct a census, I don't know whether you get up to 50% of Christians who believe that Jesus is the resurrection and the life. And then no Jesus. Many of those listening to me here, na garus, na beha, but mengoro at 190. Mengoro at 43. No, the next one is, how did you die? In whom did you die? Is it not interesting that anybody made baptism, no matter the type of life, when you make baptism, make confirmation, not already, borrow night of St. Mulumba, night of St. John, papal night, lady auxiliary, lady grand lady. Oja buchari ha lili. Jegwog dog, jegog dem, jegbag deha. Manong ishiong, no bukaji. If you prefer Igbo Arosin Egwogo, onye nwegnendo nwere n'ọnwụ. Why do you insist, or why do your people insist on coming back to perform rituals you never believed in while you were alive? Because we know where the truth is, but we don't have the courage to accept it, to admit it. We, as Christians, believe that Christ is the resurrection and the life. Ya nwa bụ mbilite n'ọnwụ na ndụ. Ọ bụ okwukwe a bụ ihe ọ ga-agba bụragodu, even if things are happening in our lives that we don't understand, we remain firm.